Head of Somali Agricultural Technical Group, Executive Director wa markii la soo gaabay la yiraahdo SATG. Mission or organization to strive for peace and prosperity through sustainable agricultural development. We're based in Nairobi. We're in Somaliland, Puntland, South Central. Goals ka organization ko conservation, development, education and research, and networking. Dr. Hussein Haji.
Well, thanks Abdel Hosh and his team for inviting us here today. And I think it's time, the time has come for the civil society to take part. For a long time, I think we have heard a lot of political discussions. So tonight we're going to change the subject into something different. And I hope that you all will agree that the time is right for many parts of Somalia to engage in reconstruction. So my title of the presentation tonight is Sowing the Seed for Agricultural Research and Economic Development in Somalia. As an overview, I would first like to give you an information about SATG, who we are, and what we stand for. And then I will go through agriculture topics. In particular, at this time in Somalia, can we really feed Somalia itself, despite the difficulties that we are in? Why there is a need for testing and dissemination of appropriate agriculture technologies? Because I think there is you can do a lot of things back, but then technology is the mother of everything. So we need to come up with new innovative technologies so that we can really improve the livelihood of the poor farmers in Somalia. And I will take some examples, the Asian Green Revolution. And probably some of you have heard about this Green Revolution and how it impacted a lot of poor families, poor farmers in Asia and many other parts. And then there is a movement nowadays called African Green Revolution. Probably I will touch on that as well. And then I will engage on to show you a little bit of SATG activities. And then donor dependency syndrome and NGO domination in the region. So that will be the last. So I hope that I'll be able to cover this in maybe half an hour. I think it would be important that we engage in a discussion rather than talking to you, so that we can both talk to each other at some point. And feel free to interfere, or if you have any question in the process. About SATG, so probably you need to know about this team before we tell you what or the next chapters. It's a registered non-profit association of the Somali professionals and friends of the country. So it's not like limited to Somali professionals only. So anybody who has interest about Somali agriculture and development. So we are engaging everybody who has an interest in that. And this group is dedicated to assisting in the reconstruction of Somalia and its agricultural heritage. Our mission is to strive for peace and prosperity through sustainable agricultural development, not through political engagement or anything like that. So we need to directly engage the professionals and other groups for agricultural development. And I think through developing agriculture, we can also bring peace. And then probably when I talk about the Green Revolution in Asia, probably you can see how agriculture can relate into peace establishment in many countries. Our goals, we work on conservation to safeguard the institutional memories of the Somali agriculture, particularly in times of instability or civil strife. So we have goals also in development to assist agriculture communities to access appropriate and affordable agriculture technologies, in education and research, assist in establishing and sustaining agriculture education and research centers in Somalia, and also in networking, cooperate with international, national, regional, and local communities in the sustainable development of Somali agriculture and conservation of natural resource base. We have a large membership that will consist of a multidisciplinary team in people specialized in crops, in livestock, in water resource management, environment, animal and food science, as well as agriculture engineering, economics, and policies. So our team is composed of a multidisciplinary team consisting of all these disciplines. Now, let's get back to agriculture now. I think we need to understand, first, we need to set the basis for what agriculture stands in Somalia. Agriculture, when I say agriculture, includes also livestock. It's the building block of socio-economic development in Somalia. And as you know that 67% of Somali economy is based on agriculture. So what does this tell you? 67%. That means our economy based in agriculture and livestock, which is very, very important. This is where the economic development lies, and this is where peace lies as well. Broad-based agriculture development can raise the opportunity cost of rural poor and make violence less attractive. I think if we engage the people in the agriculture sector, including livestock, we can somehow reduce this problem that we see in Somalia, infesting the whole people there. We can engage people differently rather than carrying weapons there, so we can engage them, we can give them the yambo to go and cultivate the land. Agriculture development is not just development, but a supporting means in promoting peace and stability. I think Mana should be mentioned here because she helped me put this picture in there. Mana is my daughter, she's in the back. So when I was working last night, putting these slides together, I thought that she was paying attention to something different because her mom and her sister went to the mall. And she was just sitting next to me and she was frustrated. She said, "Where is mom? I'm calling Muna every time in golf. Can you connect me to my mother?" But then I was working and then I said, when she saw this, can Somalia feed itself? So she came back to me and she said, "I saw a nice picture that you should put in there that can help you demonstrate what you want to say." So thank you, Mara. So I put this one, just a challenging question, but I think there's an answer to it. Because at this stage where we stand today, can we really feed ourselves? Because there's a lot of import food in Somalia, food aid and all the things. But to give you a flavor, I will give you some historical perspective so that you can see where we stand on this. And then you can decide yourself whether we can feed ourselves or not. This is a historical perspective in terms of like giving you from 1960 to 2010, what was the happenings? And was there any time during this period where Somalia was self-sufficient in food? Yes, we were. When we started in 1960 during independence time, so we had some sort of food self-sufficiency. We were not having food import or food aid from outside. Now, you remember all the 21st October revolution. So this was a determining moment to put the country into a different perspective. So you all remember, I think you are my age, and some of you probably are still younger, but you remember about scientific socialism that was introduced by the Ka'anka, the revolution. That imposed some sort of poor policies to agriculture. And these poor policies can really lead into a disaster sometimes. And looking at the literature and the history back, you can see that during that time we had some sort of controlled market price, development of ADC, Agriculture Development Corporation,